Welcome to this episode of the You Two Scare Me podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Andy.
And I'm Felice, and we are coming to you from Key West, Florida. What do you think? Should we tell them where we went?
Okay. On Thursday, we went
to see Robert the doll. Robert. We saw him in person.
Yes. And we did some investigating.
Yes. Actually, we need to shout somebody out right now.
Yes.
So
Dan,
yes.
the ghost man.
Yes. So he is the current caretaker of Robert the doll. He does all of the VIP tours and investigations in the evening, and he's the sweetest, nicest person.
He's so sweet and kind. He's just one of those people that when you meet, you're like, oh,
yes.
And you work here and you do this. And
yes. Yeah.
And you're by yourself here with Robert. All the
gosh.
time.
It seemed pretty scary.
Yeah. But I also really appreciated he told us about how he still gets frightened of things that happen. Because I think that sometimes maybe when you're, or at least in my brain, when you're in a scary thing all the time, you kind of become a little more like immune to it.
Desensitized.
And he was totally like, oh no.
Yeah, he's still having experiences. Fairly regularly. So it's pretty creepy. Okay, I have to, in all honesty, we did a lot more of the investigation around the fort, and we were kind of scaredy cats. We sort of gave Robert a wide berth.
Yes, and we said thank you and goodbye like 12 times.
Yeah, and we didn't take any pictures. So according to Dan, it's actually okay to take a picture, but
we weren't taking any chances.
No, we don't feel comfortable doing that. So,
and we also took several layers of protection with us.
Yeah.
And so
we joked that we didn't think anything could get through all of our crosses and crystals. And
I like to imagine that we had just this like wide circle of light around us, and all of the maybe negative entities were like, what is that? We will stay
thank you. We like to explore, but we, as you know, we're very safe and careful about our actions and activities.
Yeah, and we were very respectful during our time there. And Dan actually told us some stories about people who were there who were not so respectful.
Yeah.
And then the things that happened to them after. And we were like,
it's not worth it.
Not something to mess with.
No way. It's not worth it. Yeah. I was looking up some stuff today, and Robert the doll is on every top 10 list of haunted objects right now. So,
and fun fact, there were in the case that he's in, there's a letter from George Bush in there.
Yes.
And then a letter from the governor at that time, Jeb Bush, commemorating his 100th birthday.
Yeah.
So that was pretty interesting.
Yeah. It was really cool. And the fort was really, really cool. And we did actually have some interesting interactions, which we'll probably
we'll dive into that probably on a later episode. We have some recordings to go through to see if we captured any EVPs or anything like that. But we did have a couple moments where we were like, ooh,
yeah,
oh, that was a little spooky.
Yeah, so it was pretty spooky, but it was really fun. Thanks, Dan, for having us, for hosting us.
Thank you so much.
And also, the thing that I love about going to those places is learning about the history.
Absolutely.
It's not just only Robert the doll there. That fort has a really, really interesting history with that's obviously interlinked with Key West history and yellow fever and Civil War and all of that.
And we got to see photos of how it looked before it was so developed here. And I love seeing that because I think about that all the time. When I look outside and I think, oh wow, I wonder what this would have looked like without all of these houses and boats and things here. And so we got to see sort of a glimpse of that, and it was really cool.
Yeah. And what it would be like to settle here. I mean, I just think it would be so miserable to settle here when they're, with no AC and no bug spray
tons of mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Ugh, yeah.
I mean, that's why all those people died. So anyway, that was so exciting. It was so fun.
Yeah. And so thanks again. And if you ever go to visit Robert, please be respectful of him and that whole situation.
Absolutely.
So there are a few other people that I want to give some shout outs to. Felice, so we recently got these new microphones, and do you know the story behind them?
No, tell me.
Probably not, because I just found this out today.
Oh, okay. Tell me.
So my husband Ryan is part of some Reddit group where people share ideas, advice, and buy and sell these particular items. But apparently, I don't know if it's once a week or once a month. There's a time where you can post anything to sell.
Okay.
And there's no restrictions on it or whatever. And so that's how he found and got our microphones.
Oh my gosh.
And so they are just super cool, and we've definitely upgraded.
Yes.
And so
yeah, we're like real podcasters with our microphones.
I mean, like so official.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to give him a shout out.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thanks, love. We appreciate you.
We do.
I also want to give a shout out to Heather. So Heather is one of our listeners, and she frequently interacts with us on social media. I think she's even left us a review. So I just spoke to her yesterday, and she said, I did what you said. I told friends about your podcast.
Oh, yay.
And some of those friends are listeners now too, and also will like our posts and things like that. So yay. Thanks, Heather.
Yeah, keep passing it on like a chain letter.
Yeah. Oh my
gosh. Pass it to 7 friends.
I forgot about that.
Or you'll be cursed. No, you won't be cursed.
But why take the chance?
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Heather. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
That means a lot.
So, Felice, one more thing. When this episode comes out, it will officially be spooky season because this comes out in October.
Oh my gosh. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I've already been buying costumes. I'm already
Excuse
ready.
me.
Yes.
I have a brilliant idea in my head to go along with the Fantasy Fest theme. However, I don't know on which day I could possibly wear it because of some of the other things that I will be involved with.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know, but I really, really want to do it.
Can you work it into Tutu Tuesday?
But the theme isn't it disco or something?
It's disco robot. But you can always go with the main theme too.
I could. It's a little bit spookier.
Ooh.
And so I really want to do it. But maybe I could just wear it for when we podcast.
Yeah. Do it.
You know, whatever.
Yeah, I think we got a podcast in uniform.
Let's do it. Okay. Next time.
We got to do. You should see our costume bins. They are insane.
I have a whole section of the garage crawl space that is costumes.
Yeah,
so
it's fun.
But so this will be October, and
yes, we are for this month pausing our stories from Texas and Pennsylvania and focusing on super spooky topics.
Eek. We will surprise each other each week with a new spine-tingling, extra scary topic.
I can't wait. I'm so excited. I can't wait. Oh my gosh. You wrote it. You knew what I would say. In case you're just joining us for the first time, we are two sassy, spooky ladies who love the weird, the haunted, and the unexplained.
This month's stories are going to be so spooky. I'm scared already, but I'm also so excited.
Me too.
We are fully aware that we really don't know anything or understand anything that's happening with.
We really don't. We really don't know. It truly is unexplained to us. We're winging it here, guys.
But
we have a deep respect for the unknown and unseen forces at work around us. We always make sure to keep it light and to giggle and laugh along the way. We hope to bring you stories that make you question what you know, think twice about being in your house alone, and send shivers up your spine.
These are all true stories,
as far as we know. So settle in and let's kick off October with this extra spooky episode.
Dive into the shadows with us as we bring you haunting tales in this super spooky episode of the You Two Scare Me podcast. Shall we dive in? Today, we are diving into a topic that's been around for decades. Imagine this. It's late at night. There's a knock at your door. You open the door to find a couple of kids.
Uh-oh.
You are, of course, concerned. They are alone. They ask if they can come in to wait for their parents. Your first instinct is to say yes, but something is off. Their clothes are a little off. They seem outdated or old-fashioned. The way that they talk, their manner of speech, also slightly off.
Oh, gosh.
And then you notice their eyes. Coal black eyes with no whites, no irises, just black. That's right, Felice. Today we're talking about black-eyed kids.
Oh my gosh. I've heard of this before. A little bit, but I don't know like too much about it. So I'm really spooked out.
Settle in. It gets spooky.
Okay.
And there are lots and lots of these stories out there. So the first recorded story of black-eyed kids, also known as BEK, can be traced all the way back to 1996.
Oh, that was a very good year. I can tell you.
And the first story happens in your home state of Texas.
Okay.
In a town called Abilene. Do you know it?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
of course.
It's pretty close to where I'm from. Yeah, it's in West Texas.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the ghost lights were from Abilene.
Okay. But I guess not having any sort of understanding.
It's a really big state. And it's kind of like how in California, different areas are really, really different. So, but that would be considered West Texas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is in Abilene.
Okay.
Journalist Brian Bethel had just finished his shift and was sitting in a parking lot outside a strip mall writing a check to pay his cable bill. Hey kids, in case you don't know, a check was a paper way of paying for things before there was Venmo.
And technically you can still do it, but it's not.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen very often. I only write a check these days to the dentist. Like, I can't figure, if they send me a bill, I can't figure out how to pay it online. So I just send them a check, but literally nothing else. Every check I write goes to the dentist.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. I don't even have a checkbook anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You don't have one for emergencies?
Well, now I feel like I should get one.
I don't know. What if you need it? I guess it's like a landline. Like, I don't have a landline phone either. But okay. I think when people started letting go of landlines, the old people would be like, don't you have a landline for emergencies?
Oh, man. Okay, I'm going to tell Ryan I need a checkbook in case the dentist...
in case you need it for the dentist. Okay.
So.
Okay.
Also, cable is what everyone had before there was streaming.
Yeah. Oh, so he was writing his check for the cable bill.
For the cable, yeah.
Wow. We are really taking it back. Okay. To 1996.
To 1996.
Yeah.
So, back to Brian. He's in the parking lot writing his check. Suddenly, he feels the hairs on the back of his neck stand up, and he gets an uneasy feeling. He notices 2 teenagers standing near his car. They ask him for a ride to their mother's house to get money to see a movie that was playing at that strip mall.
Okay.
Some accounts say that movie was Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
And I checked, and it came out in 1995, so it could be. Yeah.
Could have been the Dollar movie.
Well, it was like a late night. Yeah. So Brian said something about the whole situation felt weird. Then he realized that the movie had started 45 minutes ago. The way that the children spoke also seemed strange, like they were much older than they appeared to be. He looks closer at them, and he realizes that their eyes are completely black.
Oh my gosh.
He's overcome with a feeling of terror. He throws the car in reverse and he hauls it out of there.
Oh my gosh.
When he looks in the mirror, the kids are gone. Brian wrote about this encounter in the Abilene New Reporter. He went on to write a follow-up article regarding the story, consistently maintaining the truth of it. In 2012, he appeared on the show Monsters and Mysteries in America, where he told his story.
Okay.
So this is sort of the first recorded story, although there are some tales or accounts that say people have been experiencing this in other places, including in Europe, long before this.
Oh, okay.
Encounters with black-eyed kids have been told in the years since. On March 17th, 2008, a 12-year-old boy was waiting in his mother's Chevy pickup truck in an outlet parking lot while she was inside getting a haircut. He spots a kid across the parking lot and he bangs on the window, thinking it was one of his friends. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. The boy turned around and walked up to the truck, staring through the window. He stays outside, staring, whispering, "You must let me in." The 12-year-old boy catches a glimpse of the black eyes, solid black, and he's immediately terrified. He crouches down in the area in front of the passenger seat and stays there. And he keeps looking, and the kid is just standing there. "You must let me in."
Oh my gosh.
Eventually, after several minutes, he disappears.
Whoa.
Can you imagine how scared that kid must have been?
Very scared.
I mean, I'm scared. Another report comes from a woman who stopped for gas late one night. As she got back into her car, there's a knock, tap, 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 on the passenger window. She says a boy around 11 is standing there. And so this is late at night. He's by himself. He asked, "Can you give me a ride home? I forgot my money."
Oh my gosh.
The woman reported he spoke in a strange, formal way, and it made her sense something was off. And then she notices his
eyes.
He leans closer to the window and said, "We can't come in unless you invite us."
Oh my gosh.
How
like
scary.
Vampires.
I know.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I need our Lady of Guadalupe.
I have chills.
I do too.
I mean, I wrote this and reread it, a bunch of times, and I'm still scared.
Oh my gosh.
So the woman feels a feeling of dread. She peels out of the parking lot just like Brian did. And when she looks in the mirror, it was empty.
That's so scary too. I think anytime you stop for gas and it's late and in the middle of the night, you're already a little bit nervous about who could drive up or what, you don't know who you're going to encounter or if it's going to be safe, especially the woman, you know, and then to have a very scary experience like that is terrifying.
Right. So far, all of these stories have happened to people in parking lots. But if you were thinking you'd be safe as long as you weren't alone in a parking lot late at night,
nope,
you're wrong. Black-eyed kid encounters have also been recorded by people at hotels and at their homes. There's another account from a businessman at his hotel room in the Midwest in the 2010s. He's up late working in his room, and he hears a rap, rap, rap at the door. He opened the door a crack, and he saw 2 kids, around 14 or 15, standing there. They were very pale, and they asked in a monotone voice if they could come in to use the bathroom.
Ooh, weird.
The man reported that his stomach dropped, and he had this dreadful feeling.
He knew something was wrong.
I feel like that's your fight or flight, right? Kicking in.
Yeah.
And then he saw their bottomless black eyes, and he slammed the door.
Oh my gosh.
The story goes that the man reported the event to the hotel staff and asked them to review the security footage. But there was no one in the hallway and no one had knocked on his door.
Oh my gosh. Did it show him opening the door?
I want to say it did, but I didn't find any, thing of that. But I feel like it should, right?
Yeah.
And that's even more unsettling because then you're like, okay, what are these?
Yeah. What was I talking to?
Right. So scary. There's a giant Reddit forum all about black-eyed kid stories.
Okay.
I've collected a few of the scariest to share with you.
Oh, thank you.
This story is from a user named Sarah. It goes like this. It almost felt like a dream. I woke up to my dog Lucy barking. She was upright on the bed where my husband and I were sleeping with our 22-month-old daughter. She was staring at our door like an unknown stranger was out there rummaging around. I thought she was just freaking out over a noise. We'd only had her for 3 months and she was still a puppy. It could have been anything. Our roommate, a creak from the house settling, the awnings moving in the breeze. I wasn't too concerned initially. I decided the best bet would be to open the door and show her nothing was there. It sounds a bit silly, but it's what we do when our daughter gets scared, and I figured it would work with a puppy too. I opened the door and she raced to the front door. She stood there, snarling at the door. It was an angry, violent growl, one I had never heard her make before. I looked groggily at her and I opened the baby gate blocking the doorway, planning to open the door and show her everything was okay. The second my hand reached for the deadbolt, Lucy went wild. She started barking and she jumped toward me. And when I touched the metal, she suddenly changed her temper. She whimpered, almost like she was afraid and backing down.
Oh my gosh.
As her mannerism changed, so did mine. I wasn't calm anymore. My heart was racing and sinking at the same time. I can feel that.
Yeah.
I had been flooded with a mixture of fear and dread. I looked through the peephole. I can't explain why I looked, but I did. Outside were two kids. One was just a smidgen shorter than me and didn't look much younger. I'm 21 and she looked to be 16 or 17. She was slender and pale. Her hair was a light shade of honey blonde and she wore it long, about mid-back, with long, thin, blunt bangs in the front that covered most of her eyes. She wore jeans in a light wash and a thin-looking olive-colored pullover-style hoodie. She held the hand of a small girl who looked to be around 3 or 4, in the same style jeans and a button-down ivory cardigan. The smaller one looked at the floor shyly, but had the same shade of hair tied back in a ponytail. She held a stuffed toy under her free arm, identical to the one my daughter has, as was their style of dress. Had it not been for the overwhelming feeling of dread and fear, I probably would have asked the children in and given them some tea or hot chocolate to get them out of the bitter cold. But something about them seemed off. At this point, I hadn't made any noise. I hadn't shushed the dog or grumbled. Nothing. I hadn't turned on any lights. These kids had no indicators that I was at the door. The older one spoke. She had a voice that was mature, confident, strong, and accentless. She held her head tilted downward and I couldn't see her eyes. She said, "We have to use your phone." I stood frozen in fear. How did she know I was there? She raised her head to face me directly, and that was when I saw her eyes.
Oh my gosh.
There was a reason I couldn't see them through her bangs before. They were black or midnight blue or dark, dark purple. They were otherworldly. She said, "Our mother is worried."
Whoa.
I did not answer her. Slowly and silently, I backed away from the door, Lucy still cowering at my ankles. She kept talking. "Just let us in to use your phone."
I'm scared.
I know, it's so scary. I took another step back, and with that step, the tone changed. At first, she seemed polite. When I took that second step back, she became commanding, almost hostile. "We're not going to hurt you. If we wanted to do that, we would have broken in. I'll ask again. May we come in and use your phone?"
I'm scared.
Felicia's just
I'm not gonna sleep tonight.
She's like wide-eyed, holding our Lady of Guadalupe.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Keep going.
Lucy snarled at the door and I inched backward, though something inside me seemed to be slowly pulling me back toward the door. It's just like the guy who sent us the doctor. Remember how he felt pulled?
Yeah. Yes.
It wasn't a physical pulling so much as a subconscious need to go back and let them in. I got to my room, covered up the window, locked the door, and sat there in the dim light of the nightlight. I heard her call me back to the door once more, and then quiet. I didn't go back to sleep that night, and I haven't slept right since.
Oh my gosh.
That one is so
terrifying.
Scary. And the dog, I think there's so many things here that are notable because animals have those instincts, right? The snarling, but then the whimper, like that change is so scary.
Yeah. And it says that something really was there.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I think it's also interesting that all of these people feel that deep sense of dread.
Yeah.
You know, you just, that instinctive feeling. Another story takes place in the U.S. with a man on Halloween. The man had a bunch of kids come to the door trick-or-treating like always. By 11:30, it was pretty much done. So he was inside watching TV, and the doorbell rings. He grabs the candy bowl and heads over. Oh, and this story was actually written by his neighbor because he noticed that this man hadn't decorated for Halloween. And he's like, what are you doing? Hey,
Yeah.
And he said, oh, I don't think I'm going to be participating this year. And then tells the story.
He's like, I think I'm done with putting the porch light on and handing out candy. We won't be doing that anymore.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I'll pass on that. So the man grabs the candy bowl and heads over, noticing it's a little past midnight and thinking it's pretty rude for trick-or-treaters to still be out. But he notices he hasn't turned off all his decoration lights yet. Mm-hmm. So his house is still, open for business. He swings the door open and he's about to yell boo or do something to freak them out, just because you're assuming it's teenagers, right?
Yeah.
But he stops when he sees the kids at the door. One was around 13 or 14, a boy, and then the other one was around 16 or 17. They weren't dressed up, but he remembers that the older one was wearing a flannel checkered shirt. He's immediately overcome with a feeling of uneasiness, and he felt like opening the door was a huge mistake.
Oh.
They just stared at him.
They didn't say anything. Oh my gosh.
And he notices their big black eyes. Mm-hmm. He couldn't even see the whites, but he thought that maybe they were wearing contact lenses. Mm. So he's frozen there holding the candy bowl. Like he couldn't slam the door in their face, even if he wanted to.
Yeah.
So he tried to smile at them, hoping that they would break character or ask for candy or something.
Pretty tricky on Halloween.
Right?
Yeah.
The younger one said that they needed to come in and use the phone.
Ooh.
And that's when he closed the door more than halfway. And he said, no, sorry. And the older one said something like, can we just wait in your house until our parents come to get us? So by then, the man is convinced that he's in danger.
Wrong. Yeah, something's wrong.
Mm-hmm. And he thought maybe they were, on drugs or they were going to rob him or something. So he just said, no, sorry, good night. He's trying to close the door and lock it.
Yeah.
And so he's afraid that they're going to break in through the windows or something like that. And he's peering through the peephole, and they had turned to leave. The man stayed up all night watching TV with the volume turned down low, just waiting.
Yeah.
But he said that the fear that he felt was so primal that came over him when he opened that door.
Oh my gosh.
So that's why he's not participating in Halloween anymore.
Wow.
So if you need an excuse to not spend, hundreds of dollars on candy, hey, there it is.
There you go. Could be the black-eyed children.
So what happens if you actually let the black-eyed kids in?
I don't know.
Well, let's find out.
Oh my gosh. I was hoping we wouldn't find out.
This is the only account that I could find.
Okay.
And it was in several places. Mm-hmm. Somebody who let them in.
All right.
In January 2016, a woman in Vermont made the mistake of letting 2 black-eyed children into her home. According to the account, a blizzard was raging outside when the woman heard the knock, knock, knock on her front door. A boy and a girl stood there shivering, asking to use the phone.
Yeah. How would you not?
Right. Of course.
Of course you would.
I mean, I think too, times are a little bit different, but still, if you open your door and you see kids who look like they're in need, especially during a blizzard, I would think just any sort of maternal or paternal instinct would be to bring them in and, take care of them. So they ask to use the phone. She's a bit unnerved, but she lets them come in and goes to get the phone. The children walk into the family room, and that's when she sees that their eyes are completely black as she stares at them in horror. And I'm just picturing this.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh, as she's staring at them, her husband's nose begins to bleed. A second later, the power suddenly goes out.
Oh my gosh.
And so they're not sure. Her account said it felt like a long time, but it could have been only a couple minutes. Mm-hmm. But after a moment, the children spoke in unison, saying, "Our parents have arrived."
I'm sorry, but I think they're aliens.
Oh, well, that's it. We'll talk about what they are in a minute.
Okay.
The woman watched as the two quietly left her house and entered a nondescript black car with a man standing outside in a suit.
Ooh.
Soon after the encounter with the BEKs, the woman's husband was diagnosed with severe skin cancer. The woman began suffering regular nosebleeds and an onslaught of other medical issues.
Oh my gosh.
She's convinced that her failing health and her husband's failing health is the result of the black-eyed children that she unwittingly let into her home. So, as you can tell, there are a few things that all of these encounters and encounters people have reported with black-eyed kids have in common. The kids appear to be normal children between the ages of 6 and 17 with unnaturally pale skin and eyes that are entirely black. Oftentimes they're wearing clothes that are outdated or out of the ordinary for what somebody their age would be wearing. And I read something that said that some of the encounters, they would maybe be wearing like a t-shirt or a hoodie that would have a team name on, but it would be a team that hasn't existed for a long time.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, so you're wearing like the Oilers or something, or more old-fashioned kind of clothing.
Yeah. So it's like they're trying, but they don't get it quite right.
Right. Yeah. Just slightly off. The black-eyed kids always ask for something that will require you to let them in, like using the phone or waiting for parents. And then, of course, there's the primal feeling of fear and unease that washes over people. That deep feeling of dread. Theories about what black-eyed kids actually are vary. Some say it's just an internet creepypasta sensation that started with Brian the journalist's story and grew into a legend.
Okay.
But there are a lot of accounts. Some believe that the black-eyed kids are vampires or the undead.
Ooh.
So the vampire thing is interesting to me because there's a lot of things in these stories that are in line with the legend of vampires, like the pale skin and needing to be let in.
Yeah.
Other people believe that BEKs are demons or aliens.
Yeah, they sound like aliens to me.
And then, you know, when you said that, and then thinking about if you're trying to mimic something, a different life form or whatever it is, you know, you're just going to get those little
so close.
details off, right?
Yeah, you're like super close, but something's going to, like the cadence of your speech might be off, or the clothing or something like that. Yeah.
You know, the way that they talk, the monotone voice, the sort of formal speak for a child, you know, it's just all a little strange. So whatever they are, I think it's safe to say that if you're home alone and you hear a knock on your door at night, take a peek outside before you open it. And if you happen to see a couple kids standing there, do not let them in.
Oh my gosh, I have chills. That's so spooky to me.
So, are you a believer in BEKs?
Yeah, why not? But also, like, what was the point of going into those people's houses and then making them sick?
I don't know.
Do you think they were like pulling energy from them?
I mean, I guess it depends on what they are, right?
Yeah.
Because if they're aliens, maybe they're just gathering information, or who knows, you know, are able to do something that we don't know about. And the fact that the lights went off, and I know it was a blizzard, so it's hard to say what was causation of the power outage, but you know, maybe they were pulling energy or taking samples or who knows what, right?
Yeah.
If they're vampires, then, you know, the lore behind that is you have to be invited in, but then you can come back
anytime.
Right.
Yeah. Anytime you want.
So that's interesting to me also. And then I will not even pretend to know anything about demons and their intentions. So
yeah.
I don't know.
There are some stories going around about current vampires without getting into it too much, but that it's not necessarily about them drinking blood, but they're energy vampires.
And I've heard about that.
You know, so like their point is to steal your energy, take your energy. So maybe that was something like what happened in that house.
Yeah.
Oh, it's scary.
Yeah. I
don't like it.
As much as I love children, I do not think I would be opening the door. Oh, that just makes me think, oh my gosh. When we lived in Alexandria, there was a knock on our door late at night and I was so scared. And I looked out and made Ryan look out too. But it was our neighbor kid, and his mom like didn't come back on time or whatever. So he was scared, and he was like,
"Let me in."
I know. He was like, "Can I use your phone?"
I need to call my mother.
And I was like, "Oh yeah, come on here."
I need to borrow money for Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
But anyway, now I'm like, oh my gosh,
You would totally let them in. I'm sorry to tell you that. You would. I would. You'd be like, "Come on in. Let me get you a snack."
I know. But I'll be like, "Open your eyes. Really? You want? Let me see you.
Let me check." You're like, doing a flashlight in their eyes. They're like, "This woman is crazy. Let's go back to our mothership."
Oh, also though, to tie back with the alien thing, like our parents are here now or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's the man in the suit. And so that ties into alien stories with, the Men in Black and all that kind of stuff. Very interesting. I don't know. I will support, I think because, aliens scare me so much, I will support the vampire theory
before aliens.
I will. Okay. It's just also, there have been vampire stories for so many years, for hundreds of years.
Well, there have been alien stories for thousands of years, tens of thousands of years.
And just like
who
that.
Do you think,
stop it.
Who do you think built the pyramids, Andy?
My gosh, stop it. I cannot. I don't even want to talk about this anymore.
All right. Well, perfect timing because it is time for Somebody Told Me.
Woo-hoo.
This story was a submission on our website. Ooh. Someone went to our website. They followed directions. They went to the contact form and they filled it out. And now we have a story. Isn't that wonderful?
Oh my gosh. You too can do this.
Yes. So this is from Cindy. She said, "Hello. I have many spooky stories to tell you. I'm from Pennsylvania. I live in State College now.
Oh my gosh.
And I would love to share my story with you."
Cindy, I hope you're a Penn State fan. Woohoo!
She said, "You have to do a story on the children of the Allegheny." This is interesting because it's children.
Oh.
"This is where my story starts. Me and a few friends went here late at night. Side note, it's a national park forest in the middle of nowhere. You pass this barn into the forest. We were driving. I was telling the story of the lost children of the Allegheny. Do you know about them?"
Not off the top of my head.
I don't either.
Maybe as you go along.
Okay, hopefully she tells us. "We get to our destination. The guys got out. Me and the other girls stayed in the van. Here's where it gets freaky. There's 2 bridges to cross. Keep this in mind. We can see the first bridge. The second bridge is pretty far in the woods. We had walkie-talkies to talk to each other. I look out the van window and see across the first bridge to the left a swinging lantern. I thought it was the guys. Nope, it wasn't. They were at the memorial already. I guess they were going to a memorial.
Oh, okay.
I was being warned. I know that now. As soon as I looked away, I heard something kick gravel on the van tires. I get out of the van. The girl who was driving was freaking out, yelling at me to get back in. I just left. Bad mistake. I was looking around and saw nothing, but I heard a car a mile away coming down the dirt road. No car. I looked back into the woods. I held my breath and stood still. I didn't move. I can't explain what it was. It was super skinny, tall, almost like a werewolf. No smell. I heard the car again and turned, and there the car was. It passed us. I looked back, and the creature was gone."
What?
She says, "I have abilities. I can see, talk, and sense ghosts and otherworldly things. My friend told me a few years ago it could have been the goat man.
Oh my
I had many things happen to me up there by myself or with friends. I was glad whatever it was didn't notice me. Thank you for listening. I love your podcast and your laughs. You can use my name." Thank you, Cindy.
Oh my gosh, Cindy.
Yeah, super freaky. That's
what
like a
in the
cryptid
world?
type of story.
That's spooky.
Yeah. It had ghost lanterns, cryptids, everything.
Weird. Okay. We'll have to look into
the children of the Allegheny.
Yeah. I don't know that. It didn't ring a bell, but whoa.
Yeah. Maybe you can do a whole story on it.
Yeah, when we hop back to Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Whoa, Cindy, that was awesome.
Yes.
And scary.
Yes. And thank you for sending in your submission.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the You Two Scare Me podcast.
Listeners, you can help support us by telling your friends and family about our podcast. Tell a few friends, have them tell a few friends, and they can tell a few friends, just like that chain letter.
Yeah, the chain letter. I like it. Help us out by rating and reviewing us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, Amazon, and wherever you get your podcasts. We love to read the reviews, as long as they're nice.
Yep.
But we'll read other ones too. It's okay. Don't forget to check us out on YouTube.
Also, come shop our website. We have merch like shirts, stickers, coffee mugs, and more coming soon. Don't forget to follow us on social media. Find us on Instagram at you2scareme_podcast or on our Facebook page, You2Scare Me. You can follow us on our TikTok account. Just search You2Scare Me Podcast. No spaces.
Remember to send us your own stories of BEK encounters, hauntings, cryptids, weird experiences, or anything unsettling for our Somebody Told Me segment at you2scaremepodcast@gmail.com. That's YOUTWO scare me podcast@gmail.com.
Thanks for wandering through the shadows with us.
Until next time, stay curious and beware what lurks beyond the light.